It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hi, guys. Welcome back and happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
I feel we're about to go on a double date.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, kind of a double date. You know,
Why
listen,
not?
I hate Mondays, but not this Monday, because if we get time with Kelly Dodd and Rick Leventhal, I feel like that's going to be a kick-ass way to start
That's
off
a
your
great
week.
way. Yes, that's a great way to start off your week. 100%. We have lots to talk about. And then I'm about to link their show in the description below if you guys want to check out Daily Smash. It is one of my top things I listen to on my podcast. I love it. So check it out if you haven't done so already.
Yeah. And we flew to Orange County to do an interview with Kelly and Rick. And I learned two things. One, they're a lot of fun as a couple. And two, don't ever piss them off. So if you guys haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button, show some love, and let's welcome. Well, I'm not going to piss off Kelly. Are you kidding? She has receipts for everything. Smash the like button and let's bring up Kelly and Rick.
What's up, guys?
Hey, it's better being pissed off is better than being pissed on.
See?
That's true.
Are you into fitness?
Words to live by.
Fitness.
Try fitness in your mouth.
Oh,
See?
it's not just Monday. It's President's Day. Okay.
It is President's Day.
It is President's Day. Thank you, Rick.
Yeah, it is.
And-
So I don't know if we're live on our channel. Should I check?
I'm going to check for you really quick.
Yeah, Jason will check. Jason has his laptop right here. So we're playing with this thing, guys, right now, because normally on Monday we do hot topics. We're going to go over some hot topics this week with Rick and Kelly. They have a lot going on. But yes, it is. It's streaming on your channel as well.
You're live on your channel.
Wait, can I watch it on our channel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you go to your channel, you can go ahead and your live chat is flowing, by the way. So yeah, they're talking to you.
How do I find it?
It says channel violations. How many violations?
No, it's just the one from a long time ago.
Yeah, welcome to our world.
They're so funny.
How many strikes can you get?
I think you can only get 3.
A year?
I could be wrong. Oh, I don't know.
How come
Or is it in your entirety?
is it live? Do I click on live?
It's okay. Let's just go
Yeah, if
there.
you click on the top part of your YouTube channel, it should say that you're live right now. And your chat is going too. I'll bring up your chat too in case anyone has any questions during our live. We can go ahead and.
Dude,
Kelly, you look really pretty. Do you have an event today?
I do. I am.
Of course
Can you
she
just
does.
back so I can see them?
Yes.
Sorry, guys.
I want to see our
Sure.
comments.
But I am. I did my blood work, so I'm 47. I haven't hit menopause yet, but I did my blood work at Cosmetic Care, and they found out that I have low testosterone. So they have they're gonna do this thing. It's a bioidentical. They're gonna go over my blood work and everything, and they're doing this bioidentical. What is it called? Hormones that they put like a little slit in your butt, and then they put the hormone in there. And
It's like a capsule, right?
it's like a capsule, I think. I'm not quite sure. But my friend did it, and she's like, I have tons of energy. She's getting ripped to shreds. Yeah, like
So you're like, put the capsule in my butt.
put the capsule in my butt.
Let's
I don't
do it.
know.
Yeah.
I haven't had any problems with issues with my hormones, but you know, now I'm getting older, and I never knew I had low testosterone, so I don't know. We'll see.
Doesn't it also increase your sex drive?
I already have a high sex drive, but that's
Which is amazing. by the way.
but it's really I'll get leaner and more toned and things quicker. So we'll see.
and even more of a sex drive. Yes. We did have a question. When are you coming back to Housewives, Kelly? I feel like you get that all the time. And I think that, and I always say this, I was talking to some of the Salt Lake City women. The casting department at Bravo is really sort of garbage. I feel like there's a lot of really bad casting decisions. No, I know that's like kind of ballsy to say.
I was thinking, I was like, no, they're not. And then I'm thinking about it a little bit, and
No, but they are, because
might have
Kelly and
no
Rick
idea.
would be so funny to watch. And do you remember how everyone thought it was funny when Heather and Terry DeBro were sitting at the table across from everyone and Terry got involved as a husband? Could you imagine somebody sitting there attacking Kelly and Rick sitting there? He's not going to let them attack Kelly. It would be great.
I mean, I would agree with you about casting decisions, Adam.
Well, what's so funny is I was with my friend Asia because they have a house in Fort Lauderdale, and we were there, and I didn't know I was fired yet, but we were supposed to get letters that next week, and the casting directors asked me who all my friends are very, very wealthy, and none of them want to be on the show. They're like, no, it's too toxic, or they're just we don't need this. We're already rich. We don't need like this crap, right? So I'm like, okay, well, all right. And then they're like, okay, well, we're like, we need really diverse, right? They're like, we're looking for a Hispanic, a Black, an Asian. We're not looking for what did they say?
I didn't.
Remember they had all these. They wanted somebody with
I don't think they were
diversity.
looking for Hispanic though, were they? Did they say Hispanic?
No.
They
They did
said
not.
Asian.
They said Black and Asian, and they said, yeah, they didn't say Hispanic because I'm Hispanic.
And they didn't want Mexican.
They didn't want a Mexican. They didn't want they didn't want a what was it? Armenian, not an Armenian, like a Middle Eastern, Arabic.
Middle Eastern?
Yeah, Persian. They didn't want Persian. Because there's that Lilani and all these girls that are friends with Heather Dubrow, and that I know very well that are Persian, and they're rich Persian. So I said, I know these girls that would want to be on it, and they're friends with Gretchen. And they're like, nope, we don't want those. So I don't know what they look for, what they want, but they didn't pick any of that. They got Tamara back, and they got Taylor Armstrong, and they got Heather. So I don't.
I mean, because I know Adam has some questions about that too, about your thoughts on the casting for OC, especially specifically this upcoming season. But what do you think? Because you do have a lot of friends who could probably make great television, who probably have been approached. Why? You say it's because of the toxicity from the show and stuff. Where do you think that started from? Do you think that's because of all the criminal activity coming out on Housewives? Do you think it's just gotten less fun? Why do you think that people might not be so in tune to maybe jumping on Housewives if offered now?
It's the new normal.
I think that when you get those toxic women like Shannon and Tamara, and they all go into your background. As soon as someone gets on, they pounce on. They want to know exactly what your past was like. They want to bring up old dirt because it's juicy. I mean, I don't know. I guess they're doing their job. I don't do that. Like I don't do that when someone comes on. I didn't look into anyone's background or their past. I'm not casting. So, but they do. And so they're those women that are my friends, they're scared. Those girls are mean,
But I think the question was more about why people are tuning out. Is that what you were?
Yeah, or why would maybe say one of your friends say they were approached and they're perfect. They have the money, they have the lifestyle. Why would they be more cautious to join now? Is it because you brought up the toxicity, and I was wondering if it's because of the Jen Shaw situation, the Erica Jane situation, and then it's really geared towards that kind of negativity instead of just having fun like it used to be.
I feel like it would just be the production of it all now. Now it's just people realize that you are paid to fight.
Yeah, you're paid to fight. They don't want that.
And I think people realize that with that spotlight can come trouble. And there have been a lot of relationships that have been damaged or ruined by being on that show. And if someone is leading a happy life, maybe they don't want the scrutiny. If they have plenty of money, maybe they don't want that extra paycheck because of what comes with it.
Absolutely.
It does take a certain person to want to be on this show, though. It's not easy. It's really, really difficult. They, and it's the social media. They come and attack you all the time. A lot of people can't handle that. And, why would they want to?
Right.
Yeah.
I do have another question for you. I just wanted to pick your brain about this because I know that Jason wanted to jump into Rick's book. Before we jump into Rick's book, the Melissa Gorga, Joe Gorga of it all, we talked about this while you were on your way to your home in the desert. And I asked you, and you said that Melissa was kind of snobby at one point. Teresa Giudice recently met up with Jacqueline Larita, and this was after years and years. And some were joking around saying that they bonded because they both don't like Melissa. Well, then yesterday, a video came up of Joe Gorga in the Bahamas with Joe Giudice. In your mind, do you think that this is a Housewives game of retaliation?
I just feel sad. I know Teresa very, very well. I've done a lot of meet and greets with her. I've spent a lot of time with her. I've talked to her on the phone. We've spent a lot of time in Palm Desert together. We've done a lot together. I know Teresa. She's a very, very nice person. I love her to death. I really, really do. But I feel sad because I've gotten fights with my brothers before. And it always seemed like it was when I was on the show. Now we talk, but there's a lot of jealousy and a lot of things that happen with the show. It's toxic. And I think that if they were not on this show, that they would probably have more of a cohesive family together. I think there's probably a lot of jealousy there. I don't know, with both of them. I feel bad for what they're going through. It's not good. I mean, they have a family, they have uncles and aunts and cousins, and they could be having so much fun together. But it's like, again, the show is toxic, and it's just brings up like the worst in people. It's just I feel terrible for the family.
You know how there's like some housewives like Vicky Gumbelson who feels like the show will come to an end if she leaves the show, and then they realize, oh shit, that's not going to happen. Like, we're not bigger than the show. Do you think if something happened and Teresa got so upset where she walked away from Jersey, that Jersey would actually come to an end?
Probably.
I don't.
No?
No, I mean, the ratings might suffer, but I don't think the show would end. I don't think any one person is bigger than the show itself.
It's an ensemble cast, but there's also it is about her. I mean, I like watching old stuff with the originals on like, I think Kyle, if something happened to Kyle, it wouldn't be as good. Like, I don't know. We watch these people's lives, and when they keep adding new people all the time, it's like, it's annoying. I like to watch the progression of Teresa. When she had those babies, she was pregnant, and now they're older. I like to see that. When I was with Rick's book, I had a whole line of like 200 people out the door at Barnes and Nobles, and people saw Jolie, and they're like, oh my God, she's so big. I cannot believe how old she is. And, people like to see those progressions of kids growing up and then seeing them older.
It's crazy when you see her on the shows from like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, she was a little kid, and now she's like a young woman. She is a young woman. And so, yeah. And you've seen that with all the other franchises too, how the kids grow up and before your eyes.
Right.
I have to agree. That is like one of my favorite parts, is watching that progression. And I feel like they do this kind of stunt casting stuff where they just throw in people who they think will mix it up or whatever, but there's still so much conflict and resolution. There's still more resolve for these ladies to go through if you just let them progress. You know what I mean? Like, right. I have to agree with that 100%. Before, I know Adam has a ton of questions to jump into, but I do have to say, part of coming out to do the interview, I knew Rick was a journalist, and I knew he was a very you have had an illustrious career. And one of my favorite parts about being out there was getting to see all of your credentials and your press wall from
his wall,
the wall of everything you've done. It's just so impressive. It's the stuff you've seen, the stuff you've covered has been amazing. Now you have a new book out called Chasing Catastrophe, which ours is on its way, because we did make a point of order. I want to read this book because I was just so impressed.
We should have got ours in Orange County and had him sign it.
Well, did you have it yet? You didn't have it yet.
No, it wasn't out yet.
No, I mean, like, next time we go to Orange County.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
What was your inspiration behind writing the book? And what do you want to tell people from this? Like, what's the message from you?
Well, one of the messages in my book is that you can accomplish almost anything you set your mind to. Because I was lost as a teenager and a young adult, and dropped out of college twice, and was hanging and finishing sheetrock, and didn't really have a direction beyond doing construction and working in bars. And I went back to school part-time, and I cleaned my act up, and I figured my life out, and I found journalism, and I didn't graduate college till I was 27. So it was basically like starting all over again as a young adult. Or an older adult, I don't know. But the message is that you can accomplish almost anything if you're willing to work hard and set your mind to it. And the reason I wrote the book is because I left Fox News, and I had time on my hands, and I'd always wanted to write a book. And I had a lot of untold stories. I had stacks of reporter notebooks from my career from all the different stories I covered, and I had time to go through them all and pull some real gems and some nuggets and some cool stuff that happened to me along the way. And I put this book together, and I'm proud of it. There's some really cool stories in there. And we had a book event at Barnes and Noble here in Newport Beach on Saturday at Fashion Island, and it was really amazing. It was so gratifying and so heartwarming and just humbling to have so many people show up and want to hear about the book. And the Q&A was terrific.
Oh.
No, I'm sure too. It's not just. That's why I want to dive into your book, because I want to see some of the stories that it's not just you covering what is happening when those cameras go off and you're not talking to, the people at the news, and you're still dealing with all of the chaos around you from especially some of the situations you've been in. I can't wait to get my hands on that. I think it's gonna be great.
I feel like that's why too, they both, Kelly and Rick, like they get along so well. They're such an entertaining couple, because I feel like they both come from that just like you have to work your ass off background, you
have to hustle.
Yeah, you have to hustle.
We lost an assistant because she couldn't hustle. Now we have a hustler.
We only had her for 24 hours, but she couldn't hustle.
Yeah.
Well, we need two. I think we need two assistants. I mean, it's crazy busy over here, and we're moving in 10 days, and our house is in shambles. That's why we pointed the camera away from everything except this wall, because everything's in boxes or waiting to go in boxes.
Yeah.
We got our pickleball paddles and balls stacked up in the office. We got
a mess.
We got a yard sale waiting to happen. It's supposed to rain all weekend. It's like just chaos over here.
You guys are moving. Oh, you told me, Kelly, you're moving.
Moving to the beach.
Okay, I didn't know if I could say that. You guys are moving to the beach.
Yeah.
It says each strike falls off after 90 days. Strikes you lose.
We got a warning, but we never got a strike.
Oh, okay.
We just got a warning, and I forget what it was for, but we haven't gotten it. We've been very careful not to get a strike here on YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's good not to get a strike. Usually strikes sometimes can be like if you try monetizing your video and then let's say we were recapping last night's episode of Real Housewives of Potomac and we play a minute clip, then that's copyright, that's a strike. Or if we play music from like the show music that someone owns the rights to.
Yeah.
That's a
and
problem.
Someone said, Gina Maxey says Trey was gone for a few years and the show didn't end. It's not that it's going to end. It's just that she is the show.
She was never actually gone. They never filmed a season without her. She was gone, I think it was like 14 months or something like that. And all they did was delay filming. They never did a season without her.
Huh.
Right.
Melissa Marquez said, Jolie is a good kid. You did a great job.
Oh, thank you.
Oh yeah. People are there are some comments that we can't see that you guys can see, which means that the stream worked for both platforms, which is great.
R. Petrick said, hi, Rick and Kelly. Kelly, more cooking shows with your dad.
I know.
Thank him for me. He showed me how to make fried beans the right way.
Are you guys going to give us a house tour? Caroline Stanberry from Dubai, her and her husband, Sergio, they've been doing this house tour situation. And I know that they're building their house, so they're showing like step by step, but you guys should do a vlog or something showing moving back to the beach.
Dude,
I'd rather give a house tour of this house being in
the house that we're moving into is like straight out from Weekend at Bernie's / Miami Vice. It is 1980s. Like it's hilarious, but I want to stick with the vibe.
Yeah, you can work with that.
Yeah.
The thing about it, we're about 6 doors from the sand. I mean, right off the beach, and we have a rooftop with views of the ocean and a little terrace off the living room and kitchen that has views of the ocean. We're gonna be breathing that air and walking and rollerblading and biking along the boardwalk. It's a total lifestyle change. Right now we're in the middle of suburbia, it feels like.
Yeah, you guys are kind of suburban.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember you came over?
Yeah.
It's super convenient though.
It is, but this place is only 10 minutes from here, and we're gonna be right on just
the water.
Yeah.
And you can make your tequila at night and then just go out there and go for like a walk on the beach.
That's what we're hoping for. That's what we're looking forward to.
Your daughter's gonna be like, Mom, what's for dinner? You're gonna be like, I don't know. Uber Eats that. Yeah.
Have you guys actually thought about doing vlogs? I think I love
People
Daily
ask
Smash.
us to do vlogs all the time.
I love Daily Smash. Honestly, like it's one of the things I put up in the morning, or I'll put it in my ear if I'm not watching it. If I'm a few days behind, and I usually am, I'll try to go back and catch up. And I find it so entertaining. I love how you guys cover what you guys do cover, but I think the kind of unfiltered vlog situation of like, maybe it's like weekly or maybe it's every now and then, just like moving would be really fun to watch you guys do. I love that, like the cooking thing. That's great.
And do you mean just rolling on us doing random stuff for 8 or 10 minutes at a time?
Video
Yeah.
vlogging.
Yeah, like it. So you can even grab those like little sticks where you attach the phone to the top of it, and then you can hold it, and then like go through whatever you're doing. Like if you're moving, and be like, Kelly, what are you doing? And she's gonna be like, this shit sucks. And then I'm sure she'll give you like a 2-minute soundbite, and then you just cut it.
There's certain, like when we went to BravoCon, I made a vlog from like the time that we were there, and it was a good 10 minutes, right? Was it a good 10-15 minute vlog. I can't remember. It was so fun to go back and look at. But I think it'd be fun, like. Have you guys done a tour of your Palm Springs house and the pickleball court?
And we do videos. You know, we will do videos and include them in our weekly Patreon show. We do a lot of videos on there, cooking with Kelly and like her trying, doing different makeup or trying on different clothes or going through her closet. That sort of thing.
99-cent store.
Went to the 99-cent store and like found cool stuff in there. We do that, and those are regular features on our Rick and Kelly show on patreon.com. But we haven't been doing
I am missing out because I'm not a Patreon member. I got to step it up here.
See? This is your problem.
You guys have Patreon too?
No, we don't have Patreon.
Oh, okay.
Well, you're crushing YouTube. You probably don't need it.
I think you know what? It's almost like it's just one more platform that just gives me anxiety because it's another platform. But I wanted to ask you really quick, speaking of another platform, because Kelly did Orange County, and obviously we all know you, Rick. What if somebody came to you and presented you with the opportunity of doing your own show where you weren't an ensemble cast, but it was just like legitimately the Rick and Kelly show? Would we do that? Even entertain it? Do you think you could hold it?
I think we could do that. I do.
100% if there was interest.
But people ask that all the time. But the thing with Orange County is that I don't get along with Tamara. I don't get along with Heather. Gina, I don't really, I just think she's blah. She's okay. She's nice. Emily's nice. But they're boring to me. You know what I mean? Like there's nobody on the show that I would want. If they asked me to go back, it wouldn't be fun.
Well, you also often say that you think it's just too staged now. Like everything is predictable. It's the same storylines over and over again. And they're manufacturing.
They brought Tamara on there to go after Heather this year. That's what they brought her back for, Yeah. When Tamara didn't even have really a problem with Heather, really. I mean, and they should have brought me back because that was a real thing. But she's making up things to be mad about Heather about. And
I don't think Heather was willing to do the show. That's one of the reasons why I think they let you go, because they wanted to bring Heather back. And she was like, I'm not doing it if Kelly's on.
And like New Jersey, it's so much fun because they have the husbands in there. Yes. And that makes it fun. Like Eddie Judge is milquetoast to me. He's like driftwood. He's just boring. John Jansen obviously was using Shannon. He was boring. We have Gina Kirchenheimer's boyfriend. He's boring. Shane is the only one that has some kind of personality in the mix. But like it's boring to watch. Like
I'm getting like a recollection in my head of the first time you met Shane.
Yeah.
On the show.
But he's really funny. Like
he's grown on me a lot. He's quirky and fun, but like we don't have those personalities.
I haven't seen him, but I really enjoyed meeting him and hanging out with him. I thought it was funny. He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
He walked up to me at BravoCon and he said, I watch your YouTube channel and thank you for talking nice about my wife. And I was like, what?
Do you? You do?
Well, right? I do talk nice about her, but then I ran into Gina's husband. And it was right after going to Rick and Kelly's house. And Kelly was like, she lives in a townhouse. She doesn't even have good posture. She hunches over. And I'm like, and then I ran into them at BravoCon.
And what did he say?
She's done a glow up. Okay. I'm not going to lie. She's a pretty girl. Gina is a pretty girl. She is. But all she does is, I'm just so, she just complains. And I feel sorry I'm a victim. I feel sorry for myself and blah, blah. It's like, Are you still in touch with Megan King?
Matilda wants to know you're still in touch with Megan King and Phil Credit.
Megan King came over and stayed at my house twice. I took care of her when she got her boobs and her nose done.
And then something happened.
And then she texted me about Bronwyn, saying that what was it? Bronwyn? Was it?
I'm trying to remember what the
Oh yeah. She says I was being not nice about the cause because Bronwyn only had $3,000 in her checking account, and she was complaining about going after Sean for more money when she's not even with those kids. Sean texts me, like, I love that guy. He's a great parent. Like, I love Sean. You do too.
He's a good guy, yeah.
Even reached out and she said, you're
after my accident,
she came after me and texted me this mean like message about not being for the cause. And I'm like, the cause of what?
Yeah.
Like I'm hustling over here. She can get a job like all my other girlfriends that are single moms and start hustling, like, you know.
And then the next week she was down in North Carolina allegedly looking at houses with her girlfriend, and she's like looking at homes.
Wait,
like,
aren't they married but not married? Wait,
She just got a fake marriage.
she got a fake marriage, but what was the point of that?
Because
She's still
Bronwyn
married.
likes attention.
That exactly. She just wants to be written about.
Jeff Lewis, and he was talking about it, and then on one of the comments, Tamara goes, "Oh my God, congratulations!" And on Jeff Lewis, I go, "Huh?" I go, "She's so full of shit." When we used to talk, she used to say how much of a whack job Bronwyn was, how weird, and like all these like negative, nasty things. And I'm like, how fake? And then she's like over here, I don't know, saying, "Why are you friends with her?" And like, it's like Tamara is the most fake person on the face of this earth.
Well, it goes to your point of things now being pre-produced. So it's like you're saying, like, Tamara has had other opinions before, but now that she's back on the show, she's kind of twisting, kind of changing her viewpoints, basically, right?
Right.
She's going with the woke mob. So like when we were talking all the time, she lied and said, someone goes, "Oh, F Kelly Dodd up at BravoCon," and she goes, you said it first.
You said it.
You said it.
Instead of sticking up for Kelly.
Instead of lying, but she was appeasing to that woke mob.
Mm-hmm.
She's a
Well, Shannon did the same thing. She had an opportunity.
I was just going to ask about that. Sorry to interrupt. Because you were talking to Tamara when we were there for the interview, and then also you were still very close to Shannon.
She lied up at BravoCon.
Because as soon as she got asked back on the show, she immediately stopped talking to Kelly, and then just went with the crowd and acted like, you know, she didn't like you or whatever. Like,
Tamara would talk such shit about Bravo. She would say how much they lied, how about that sex that they set up that whole, when they said that I had a sex train, that they set all that up. She went after Bravo, and Shannon's like, I can't believe they brought her back. And like all these things. And then she calls me. She's like, "I never went after Bravo." And I'm like, "Oh, really? Why don't you ask your girlfriend Shannon now?" Who Shannon hated her. And now that they're back in cahoots, now they're besties again. It's just so
what happened? What happened with you and Shannon then? Because I remember like being there too, and you were texting her and stuff like that. What do you know what happened? Maybe you know and I missed it.
No. I'll tell you what happened. So we were all at the game with Jeff Lewis and Shannon.
We went to a USC football game.
And John Jansen. And I knew John Jansen and Shannon were on the outs. I knew that, okay? But I don't know why they were like pretending to keep it together. And John Jansen said that Terry and Heather.
Can I tell the story? Because it was me. I had a conversation with John. And we were talking about the show. I was like, "How's it going? How's the shooting going? All that." And he said, "Well, you know, it's kind of boring." And you know,
he said, "I hate it."
He was like, I hate it." And you know, he acted like he hated it, but I don't think he really did. But then he said that he was hanging out when he would have to hang out with the guys. He's like, "I didn't like, you know, I don't really like any of them. They're not fun. But Terry is actually the most fun of any of them. He's actually the coolest of all the other husbands and boyfriends." He said, "But I would never hang out with him and Heather in real life, like, because they're the most pretentious assholes I've ever met. But when I have to hang out with somebody when we're filming, I hang out with Terry. And I
Interesting.
and the other thing he said was that
Eddie.
all Eddie ever talked about was anal on camera. When they're shooting, he said Eddie would just talk about anal with Tamara all the time. He's like, he would bring it up. It's the weirdest thing all the time. So I told Kelly that story on our drive home, that the conversation I had with John. And then we kind of forgot that we probably shouldn't have brought it up on our show, but we did.
On Patreon.
So we talked about it on our show. And then
because we talk about everything on our show.
They heard about it and got
but
really
they never
mad.
said, don't say anything, keep it gospel.
Yeah.
But, see, I didn't think that Tamara would get that mad because she talks about doing anal on the show all the time.
Right. She said they talk about it on camera. So they really shouldn't have got mad about if they were going to get mad about anything, it should have been that Eddie shouldn't have been saying those things on camera, because once it's on camera, it's fair game. But with John, I apologize, and I didn't have his cell for some reason, but we sent an apology to Shannon. So sorry that we did that. Really, really regret it. We shouldn't have betrayed your confidence, and we'll make it up to you any way we can. And there was just silence. Crickets. Never responded. Didn't even say, sorry, we can't get over this, or give us a few days to think about it. Nothing. And so Kelly was the best friend of Shannon for years, and she would call her almost every night and talk her ear off for an hour or 2 hours. All of a sudden, to just completely cut her off.
I texted her. I'm like, hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The Tamara thing was no big deal, but they don't like Heather or Terry. So what is it? Be truthful, be honest, be real. Like, I didn't, she always says that she's real. Like, I didn't think it was going to start any.
And you were there, Adam, at BravoCon. Someone asked Shannon about Kelly, and she says, yeah, I don't really talk to Kelly, or something like that. It was
such a lie.
I think actually, didn't you reach out and be like, didn't he text you or something?
Yeah,
and say I
messaged Kelly from BravoCon.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I asked her because I was like, wait.
Just a lie. Just, again, appeasing to that woke mob. Again.
All she had to say was, I'm mad at Kelly right now.
Yeah.
But Kelly's been a great friend to me. She could have said that.
Kelly
says things that I wish she wouldn't, but she's been a terrific friend. She lent me her clothes all last season.
I got her daughter a interview with Artie Moreno, who owns the LA Los Angeles Angels. I mean, I've done over and above for this. I've taken midnight calls from her constantly, and then to
completely dismiss it and act like the two of them never talked. It's like, we have the evidence. Like, there were, the call logs.
And she was so scared that for Tamara to come back, and she hated Tamara, and now they're like acting like they're best. They wouldn't even talk to Vicky. Like, they wouldn't even speak to Vicky. Now they put Vicky in the mix, and I was like trying to get all three of them together.
Do you think Vicky will be back on the show?
Yes. I do. Yeah.
Well, how many episodes? She was
only on 2 episodes,
oh, okay.
but I think they're going to put her back on. I think they will. Yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to ask you too, because I know that you guys have a lot going on, so we don't want to keep you all day. But Kelly, is there anything, since we're about to get Orange County, the new season? Are there any behind the scenes?
When is the new season?
I think it's coming out in March.
But we haven't even gotten a trailer yet.
Becky Slevin, who's one of our patrons, said, I really want you to recap OC because you can tell us the truth.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
I think you should.
I should. Well, I know this. When I was talking to Tamara every day, she would be like, oh, I want to buy a house in the desert. I want to buy like us. And then she's like, well, I think I really want a house in Big Bear. So I'm talking to Shannon and I go, where are you guys going on a trip? She's like, we're going to Montana. Tamara's buying a house and wants to buy a house in Montana. I go, so fucking fake. I'm like, so fake. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Wait, that was one.
She just said she wanted to buy a place in Big Bear. Now Montana, like,
because it's cool.
Because it's cool.
Could make a good trip for the show.
Yeah.
But that must have been months ago, right? Because you haven't talked to Shannon in a while.
That was when they were filming.
Filming.
We've quit filming for a while now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a little behind the scenes for you.
Yeah, there's some more.
Yes, people are saying yes. Do the recaps. By the way, wait, what did you think? Did you hear about this whole Brandy? Because I know that you and Brandy had it back and forth a little bit, but this whole Ultimate Girls Trip, Brandy Glenville, Caroline Manzo situation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think with this internal investigation that they will continue to keep bringing Brandy back on the show, or are they going to look at her as like a liability?
Brandy's a liar. She's a straight up liar. I had the receipts on that one. She said that I said something about her kid, and I went back to the bar. I didn't say anything about her kid. She said she wanted me on the show. I've been friends with Brandy, okay? Like she stayed the night at my house. We've gone to Laker games together. We've gone out to bars together. Like we've talked on the phone. Like we were friends. Like we were legit friends. Now she goes on 2 T's in a Pod and starts like talking trash about me because those 2 girls hate me. Like, you know, again, appeasing to the haters.
If the question is whether Bravo would have her back and if she's a liability, I mean, I think the better question is, should they have her back? Because clearly she is a liability. And I mean, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. If it's true, what they're saying happened in Marrakesh, it's
you know, that's so funny that because everyone said that I'm a liability. Like, why
I was just going to say that. People get,
you're a liability. Why? Because I was anti-mask. I was anti-COVID. I wanted kids to go to school. I wanted kids to go back.
You want businesses
I want business
open?
to stay open. I'm a liability because I express my freedoms.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, I think everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
And I don't hit people. Tamara hit me and my producer. She threw wine in someone's face. She is constantly kissing other women while she's married to Eddie. That girl is cut from the same cloth as Brandy Glanville. I think Tamara, she hit me and my producer, Kelly, what's his name? Our executive producer. When we were Thomas Kelly. She physically hit me and physically hit her. You can't do that. You cannot touch people. You know, she threw wine at Gina's face. She spat in Vicky's face. Those right there, those are made for hostile work environments. You can't touch people. You can't physically assault people. There's laws for that. Those girls are liabilities. I am far from a liability.
All Kelly did was speak her mind. And by the way, history has proven her to be on the point. She was ahead of the curve and calling stuff out. Everyone is starting, you know, most people are now starting to see the light on so many of the things.
Like wearing a Drunk Wives Matter hat. That was given to me when I was on at my wedding shower, and it was a play on words and nothing to do with the Black Lives Matter movement. And whatever happened with the Black Lives Matter movement? That those, you know, buying large mansions is what it should have been called. They did nothing for Black people. They were calling me racist. I'm not racist. Like that's just. It's absurd what the woke mob will make up. And
you were a victim of this wave that crashed across America.
Yeah.
You were too open and honest about things at a time when no one could handle openness and honesty on certain topics.
Right.
And you got in a lot of trouble for it.
Yeah.
It's interesting too, because I feel like now you have to be very careful on anything you stand up for, say, do. And this goes for everything, you know. But I feel like people's opinions, they change and evolve over time too. I think you getting the can for having an opinion, you're not stealing from victims. You're not touching people inappropriately in bathrooms. You know what I mean? Like,
we talked about this, remember, because right before we did the interview, not to cut you off, but before when we were talking with another content creator about doing the interview and going to Orange County, that person actually refused to recap Orange County with me because Kelly was on the show, and they said that they are going to boycott the show.
Yeah.
And they did. But now they're like, the show needs Kelly. And I'm like, how did you do this 180? Remember? Because I told you about that, Kelly. Yeah. I was like, that was so interesting.
Andy Cohen said that they boycott me. My viewership when I was on was over 1 million every single week.
Yeah.
When they put Heather Dubrow on, it was in the 700,000s.
They set the record for the worst ratings 5 times. That's this last season.
In the 15
after
years.
Kelly left.
Yeah.
So if anyone was boycotting, it was all the people who loved Kelly, who thought she was mistreated and fired for the wrong reasons. And those people stopped watching. And you can see them in the comments. A lot of people are saying, I won't watch OC anymore. Or I stopped watching Bravo.
I have so many people. I mean, so many people come up to me. I won't watch that woke station anymore. I won't watch that just out of principle, because you're not allowed to have. I mean, it's half of America, you know, like I don't like talking about politics. I'm not even a political person, like at all. Like I didn't even vote. Like
we did this last election.
Well, with this last election I did,
We
but
tried
like,
to vote twice, didn't work.
like, you know, but I'm not really a political person, like at heart. Like I just was, I felt like when that whole COVID thing was just driving me nuts. I just wanted to be free.
Yeah.
It's interesting because the show has, I mean, this is the very first franchise. And this show, I think in the pandemic kind of, you know, they didn't know what to do with it, right? And then they brought Heather back, and it wasn't the splash they wanted to make. They're missing right now a mark. It just sucks that the show is suffering so much because they can't.
I think they're going to ask Kelly to come back.
Yeah.
I really do. I do. I honestly think that they're going to ask Kelly to come back. I feel like that all of this is past. It's not like you didn't have something that surfaced, like some crazy racist tweet or something like that, or some background where people could pinpoint that
I'm
you
not
had this,
racist.
like,
No, it's
right.
It's ridiculous.
But that's what I'm saying is like you didn't have like a trail of it where other people who got fired, it makes sense, you know. So I think that I really do feel like they're going to bring you back. I think Heather Dubrow is not coming back next season. She just sold her mansion. She moved to LA. And I think they're going to bring back Kelly to shake things up. And I feel like Vicky's going to stay a friend.
I don't think I could work with I don't think I could work with Tamra. I really don't.
I think you could. I think as soon as they deposit that check into your bank account, you'll be able to work with Tamra.
That's true.
A lot of people
See?
think that Kelly won't get asked back because she won't stop talking about what happened to her. And I'm like, but that's who Kelly is. Kelly's very open and honest, and she's gonna talk about how she feels about stuff. And that,
well, and then some people would question
on the show. She was terrific on the show.
But you also have to understand when the pandemic happened, we only filmed 6 weeks. They usually film for 4 months. We had to self-film on our phones. We had to go. We had to get tested every single week, and we had to do our confessionals in our garage by ourselves. It was a taxing time, right? It was hard.
Yeah, it was very different from what you were used to.
Yes.
What anyone was used to.
Right.
Yeah.
I think some people would say too, okay, well, since you talk about the show, since you have your own YouTube channel, since you talk about all these other things and you have your opinions, that they might steer clear from bringing you back. But then you have Teddy Mellencamp and Tamra Judge, who started 2 T's in a Pod, who
Heather
do
Dubrow.
Heather Dubrow. We can go on and on about
Melissa
housewives who have podcasts, but specifically 2 T's in a pod, or 2 T's in a pod on.
I don't know. There's 2 twats.
They're in a pod, but they sit together and they do have opinions on all the other franchises, on all the other ladies, on everything. Sometimes that get them in a lot of trouble too.
Yeah.
So I don't think that matters right now. In fact, I think the more that you're out doing content, I think the more they're out doing content as well, just brings more attention to the show. It just brings better conversation.
Miss Carey said, imagine Kelly versus Tamra. I would love to see that.
Oh,
exactly. And I think the difference is as long as you're not giving away like, oh my God, this is what happened on my season while I'm filming it, then I think it really doesn't matter. You can talk about, like, if you went on and you were even talking about a season that you would be on with Rick and you guys are talking about the episode as people watched it, I don't even think that should matter. It just shouldn't be spoilers.
Yeah.
Somebody said, what about Tamra calling Kelly an effing Indian?
Did she do that?
Yeah.
Kelly is like 28% or 29% Native American.
Oh, here we go again.
Well, she says racist things, Tamra. She calls her husband a beaner. She says all these derogatory things. They let her back on. You know, it's just so funny how
2 pots to piss on, LOL. Twats. You're so funny, Kelly.
well, isn't that what they call themselves?
Char J was just watching.
I think they actually do call themselves twats.
Correct.
Yeah, they do. I had Jen Shaw on one time for an after show, and she's like, "Listen, 2 C's in a pod," and I was like, "Oh my gosh, here we go."
Whatever happened to? Is she in prison now?
Yeah, she checked into prison.
Yeah, she checked into prison on Friday.
Vicky Torres said, "I would love to see Kelly back. It would be a bonus with Rick."
I agree. Just like you were saying, we don't have a husband who's interesting. You have your own. You've had your own platform. You've had your success. You've had you're just as interesting, I think.
But Rick
I
is
really-
kind of like what people don't see too is Rick is kind of like a suave guy. Like when we first walked in and saw Rick and Kelly, they were filming their show. But then as soon as they were done, we had the videographer setting up, and Rick walks up to you and he eyes you up and down. Like he's kind of like mafia. He goes, and he stares at you with like, I feel like he zooms in with the one eye to the side and he like cocks the head and he looks at you like in the face and he's like, "What's up, man?" And like he's waiting for you to like kind of sell yourself in that moment, like if he's gonna accept you or not. He's like a dude's dude, you know? And then like you see him driving down the road, he has his hat on backwards, and he's like, "Which car are we taking today?" You know, he's like a cool guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how it
Well,
goes.
Speaking of, I know last time we got to ask you really quick. We got to ask you how you're feeling. It's been what was that last week?
5 weeks.
How are you feeling? And have you been able to touch the pickleball yet at all?
Thank you. I'm feeling much better. It's been 5 weeks since my accident. My ribs are, I would say, at least 90% healed. They say it's like 6 to 8 weeks. And I feel much better. I'm able to sleep better. I can sleep on my side.
Nice.
I don't have the pain that I had before. Just getting up and getting in and out of bed, or standing up or sitting down. The ribs are tough to recover from. They still hurt a little bit, but I'm so much better, and I'm so grateful that it wasn't worse. You know, I could have been killed in that accident, no question about it. It was
Seeing those photos was
one of the most frightening things I've ever been involved in. And my book is called Chasing Catastrophe and includes some near life or death experiences. That accident was as close as I probably ever felt to dying in my life. When I was, when I was hurtling across the highway, and we're gonna have to take those down anyway. We're moving. Sorry. I hit the wall and I'm spinning across the highway and went right into a tractor trailer. And right before I hit the tractor trailer, I was like, oh God, oh God, oh God. I'm just thinking about Kelly and thinking about my life and about how it's all about to come to an end. I swear to you, it was that dramatic and that violent of a crash. And to walk away with just 4 broken ribs and a small bone fracture in my foot, like I'm just so grateful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're happy you're feeling better and you're safe. Because
She would have had a big insurance payout.
she just said, what did you just say? $6 million? You're like, yeah. Just
And Jeff Lewis is like, what would you have done? Like, did you think a little part of you wish that he had died, and then you'd have all that money? And
Jeff said that.
She's like,
funny the way he was asking, you know.
she's like at the Malibu Beach Club, sitting there with like just like a cocktail
I'm
with like
so
a little beach wrap, and
sad.
she's like, I'm in mourning right now with like her big smile.
Hey, you guys, let's go to Palm Beach. Yeah.
Oh, we can mourn. Let's go to Vegas, baby.
Let's go to Vegas and mourn.
Versace. No, these are called Fornisati.
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 They're beautiful.
Well, Rick and Kelly, thank you guys again so much for joining us. I'm glad that we were able to manage the streaming situation, and now we can do this again in the future.
Are we
Rick
gonna,
is feeling
can we
good.
take any call writers?
You mean
Callers.
comments?
Callers? We can totally, next time that we come on here, let's do that. Let's do a free for all, like taking on callers and doing like a panel.
Oh yeah, would love that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in the meantime, I'll figure out how to do this on our channel at the same time, which you said we did, but I still don't know. I haven't looked at it yet.
Yeah,
No,
you're live. I'm actually watching your chat go a lot.
Yeah, your
I'm
chat is
yeah, your
Yeah,
chat's
well,
going.
somebody says if Kelly wants to get back on the show, she has to make up with Bronwyn. They need to talk about how extreme they both became during the pandemic and how they've changed. That would be a great story.
Well,
I don't think I was extreme. I think
You weren't extreme at all. You were just being real about.
She
like, how
was. She
messed
was
through
up-
everything.
She was like,
Extreme.
oh, we have to wear the mask and we have to live in there, but we can go to a protest and take photo, you know, like I don't think I was extreme at all.
Well, I don't think it has anything to do with Bronwyn. You coming back or not? Bronwyn's not on the show.
Yeah.
Are they gonna bring her back too?
Chris Mack,
That would be
I'm
interesting.
late again. Yes, you are very late, Chris. Okay. No, next time we will definitely we'll take callers and we'll do like a whole panel situation. And then
Okay.
maybe like in the next 2 weeks, let's try doing this again. So then we can get you guys used to doing the live streams. That way
Yeah.
you guys can do this for your community on your channel.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
And thanks for your help and setting stuff up.
Yeah, you guys are true YouTubers.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, just keep a room open for us at the beach house, okay?
No, you guys come and stay with us.
Yeah, for sure. We have a guest room.
We have a guest room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't tempt us with a good time.
No, yeah, you guys will have
Thanks for
fun time.
teaching the old dogs a couple new tricks.
All right. Thanks, Rick and Kelly. We appreciate you.
Have
But,
a great
yeah,
day.
and
Have a great.
congratulations on your marriage
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
thank,
thank
you.
you.
And
Thanks.
your
Yeah.
new home.
and your new home.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy
It's a lot
President's
of
Day.
work.
Happy President's
Day.
All right. That's funny.
Bye, guys.
All right, guys, if you don't watch Rick and Kelly, you have to go check them out. They have their own YouTube channel and they're hilarious. They're so funny, especially because I think as a couple, they don't hold back. And you know, what I like about Rick and Kelly is they're not afraid to ask. So when it comes to like learning certain things with YouTube and doing the lives and stuff, why not? They ask the questions and they're so
Well, you got to remember too, when we started and how we started, it's like we figure things out all the time as
Yeah.
you go. And I wish someone too would be like, hey, you don't have to do it that way.
Yeah.
You don't have to, because we went through a lot, right? How much equipment did we go through? How many like hours did we spend researching like just how to
I'll do it
do
in
this.
exchange though. If they're
Crazy.
like, listen, we'll go live with you and then we'll chit chat for a little bit. But hey, how do we do the StreamYard? That's why I feel like I have to keep Rick on a string and not give him too much. That way he'll keep coming back. And then I'm like, you guys, that way we can. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But guys, don't forget to smash that like button. We are going back to our second channel, Up and Adam 2. We will be doing a Agree to Disagree, a new show, new sort of like pre-record live channel situation thing that we are doing on the second channel at 2 p.m. Eastern. So we'll see you soon. Thank you to everyone in the live chat and thank you to Rick and Kelly. Bye guys.